Good morning, friends. This morning we are going to talk about financial importance for the youth. The youth these days have a changing pattern. Most of the youth in the age group of 22 to 26 are not willing to go for married life just because they want to be financial independent. Either a boy or a girl of the same age, 22 to 25, 26, they don't want to go for marriage. There is a decreasing trend among the interest about going for marriage among the youth, whether in India or abroad, only because they they give more importance to financial independence rather than a married life. The the question always comes in mind of all of us: what is the reason behind? Why should we keep in mind these two factors, that when you are having or when you are deciding to go for a married life, a question comes in the mind of every youth that financial importance plays a very important role. Either the question is whether you are going to handle your own income, or you are having a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, you are going to enjoy your life in a way you have dreamed before, settlement. So the thing is that why should the youth go for this financial independence? It is very, very important for a girl or a boy to be financially independent before marriage, as well it after marriage also, excluding the temporary career breaks for pregnancy or maternity, changing job, starting a business. The question, a survey has been conducted on all India basis, and it has found that 84% of the youth are not willing to go for married life. They want to be single, they want to be independent, they want to be financial independent. That, and it is the case with the women also, the girls also, the young girls, they want to be financially independent. That gives a woman the dignity to live her life respectfully and with freedom to live life on her own times. It gives us an identity of our own apart from just being someone's daughter, sister, brother, son, wife, mother. So the question now is puzzling the surveyors or the people, is that the birth rate will decline very soon. The infant born in India is going to decline as on date. It is very important for any girl to be financially important, to have a career, even not well settled, at least professionally qualified. There are a number of interviews conducted by intellectuals regarding this. When the students are asked about what would they choose to adopt, whether they would settle and then they will go for marriage, most of the youth answers the question saying that they will look into the practical applications. They will first get themselves financially strong. They will have at least 1 or 2 crores of rupees in their bank. They will be capable of living a good life, qualitative life, and they want independence. Even a boy or a girl wants to live independently. Since students ultimately move to partner living abroad, they are eligible for the same work right as any other international student in that country. For example, in the UK, students can work up to 20 hours per week during term time, and in Australia, around 22 hours per week. During breaks, full time work is typically allowed. So, the question is, why should they have such financial litigation at the time of marriage? Even parents, give them the choice. They ask their wards whether they are willing to go for married life or they are not going to have a married life. Parents especially feel that as the girl had completed her master or her education now she is going to have a career, but they are of the opinion that pursuing her career, she is set to get married and her then pursue her career. After marriage everything is fine, but around her supports her, she can pursue her dream. But on a contradictory side, if her mother-in-law says first conceive and then pursue her career, it will be a contradiction. Many of the mother-in-laws are in favor of having a baby. They compel their you know daughter-in-laws to go for a child rather than going for a career. This is also one of the reasons. But the girls want to complete their education at any cost. They want to pursue their career rather than having a baby. This is also the second reason why the girls and the boys, particularly at the age of 22 to 26 or 26 to 29, they are not willing to go for marriage. They have their dreams, they have their perception of living a good life. They don't now get confined and they don't want to be restricted by the bond of marriage. Either the girl or the boy, they want to live a better life, so they just want to pursue their career. They just want to be financially independent. They think, even the girls think, that they should be financially independent and having job after, then only they can go for marriage. It is on their own to whether to conceive or not after job. See, this is also a question. You can't compel a daughter-in-law to conceive and have a child. Where the career is concerned, career is more important than conceiving and giving birth to a baby. It is very, very important for a girl to be financially independent before marriage as well as after marriage, because you never know what will happen after 1 or 2 years of marriage. We have seen that there are family disputes. So if a girl is financially independent before marriage and even after marriage, she can have her own choice, she can pursue her further career, she can have independence. Because financial independence not only leads to independent of thoughts and ideas, it also leads to a better career, a better life, a qualitative life. Giving birth to a child is not a compulsion. If the mothers-in-law think that a girl after marriage should conceive immediately, that is not a question of legality. No girl can be compelled to conceive and have a child. So these are the problems that we have seen now. Time and again discussions are being held, and the expertise believe that there is a changing trend. The youth now tend to have independent, financial independent, freedom of thoughts, freedom of living a life independently rather than being restricted by the bond of marriage or being in the litigation of looking after the you know family, or carrying through the burden of financial, requirement. So everyone, either a boy or a girl, wants to remain independent, particularly financially independent, and they want to focus on their career rather than getting married. And this is the reason why now we see that there is a delay in marriage. There is the marriage is far delayed by the youth. Sometimes these youth are not willing to go for marriage. 12% of the youth in India, they deny getting married. They think that living alone and single is far better than getting married and living in couple. So it's a changing trend. Nobody knows in the years to come. It may become a choice for the youth whether to be married or not. Even the parents are not going to intervene into, because they know that their children are independent to think about their career. They have the ability to understand what is good for them and what is bad for them. So financial independence has become the indispensable requirement of every youth before getting married. Thank you. Have a nice day. This is Eddie Singh on the channel.